Alrighty guys, here at Reviews and Brews, we're going to go with our ongoing Honeycomb tutorial. And this time I'm just going to bring you a different little application. We're going to be using a launcher replacement, ADW Launcher EX, which you can find in the market. It's a couple bucks. And I know a lot of people are probably wondering why you would want to replace your launcher in Honeycomb. The Honeycomb launcher was a big... It was a lot of eye candy for Honeycomb, but it did lag a little bit. In my opinion, it was missing some features that I missed having. For instance, having these static icons over here on the side. So as you can see, I'm going with the regular cube rotate. I have only 4 screens now, but I have looping home screen. So just because I get over to my 4th screen, I can still go over. Now I'm back. Continuous looping, that's a really key feature. I think I really like having that. Luckily, unlike some phones where if you replace the launcher you can't use some of the stock widgets, you can use all of your stock widgets with ADW. So there's my bookmarks, calendar, and Google Music, and they all work seamlessly. They all are resizable, as you can see there. So that's nice. This is 3.1, so I know you've got your normal resizable widgets, but for instance with 3.1 you can't do total resizing of your bookmarks widget. You can only resize it vertically. With ADW you can do it any way you want. They did keep this small menu bar up top with your plus button where you can add in the standard Android method shortcuts, widgets, all of that. We'll just run through the settings menu real quick. ADW settings. ADW allows you to have presets. Default iPhone-ish, Nexus-ish, and fast. I always start with fast and then customize it from there. UI settings, you have some icon settings that you can do here. Density hack, fancy backgrounds, which just gives a giant colored background to the entire icon, and you can set the color for those backgrounds. New icon. So there's a bunch of your icon settings. Here's your dock. This is what I had going on the side here for my I had just the browser, applications, and Gmail. You can have 5 icons there. It'll take up your whole screen. You can have 1 icon, and you can have none. So if you want it just to be kind of like what Honeycomb is now, with no static shortcuts, and then assign a shortcut to, for instance, open your applications, you can do that. Because I only have 3 icons over here, I can set up desktop dots, so I can just tap on the dot to change screens. This lets you set the size of those icons. Some people might want them just smaller for any particular reason than their regular icons. Advanced settings, tint is going to make them all gray, or kind of like a silver color. By default, you can change the color to whatever you want though. So I'll show you that. So I got dock tint. Now you can see there's really no color to them. I'll show you what it looks like with the fancy backgrounds. As you can see, now they all have a customizable color right there, all of my shortcuts. Screen preferences, the number of columns that you want. So the number of vertical columns that you want for the number of applications. So currently I have it set to 10, so I can have 10 things going down, 10 shortcuts going down. Number of rows, this is going to be going across for you guys. That's currently set to 9, that's all adjustable. You can have a desktop indicator, and then you can even go so far as to have it hide after you've switched your desktop, and you can tell it if you want it at the top or bottom and what type. You have dot, paginator, sliding, and bottom. Trash can position, so if you want it top or bottom, you can do that. Home screen orientation, auto, landscape, or portrait there. You can hide the status bar. I don't think that actually does anything in Honeycomb. Overlap widgets, to tell you the truth, I'm not really sure what it does. I think it just lets you to have one widget overlap the other. Hide labels, so if it's a Gmail, you can remove the text Gmail and only show the actual icon. Auto stretch and auto close folders, so if you open up a folder, which unfortunately Honeycomb doesn't have by default, you have to get it through a custom launcher like this. You can have it close when you open up the application that you want inside that folder. So that's it for screen settings. Drawer settings, this is pretty nice. We'll just show you the animations here. Try to get real quickly through this. Actually, app drawer style, you can do vertical, horizontal where you're sliding left to right, vertical 4D, new, horizontal fling, full screen so that when you open the apps it's going to take up your entire screen. You can set again the number of columns and rows in portrait and landscape mode for the application drawer only. You can change the background color. Alright, sorry guys, now I think we left off at drawer settings. So we'll go through this. This is right, snap to scroll when you are scrolling your application drawer. Remember, all this is only for the application drawer, and you can do fade to black and hide labels inside the application drawer. Hidden dock bar. Basically what happens is, I believe with those static icons that I had over here, if you just slide that up, it'll open up a whole new dock bar. I've never used it, so I turned that off. General behavior, this is where ADW gets pretty cool. First off, infinite scroll is what allowed for the looping. I'll show you all the transition effects here. We'll try to make this quick though. Here's tilt. So tilt's kind of pushing everything back. Let me set up just a shortcut here to the ADW settings. So just like that, long press, shortcuts, ADW settings, they allow for advanced shortcuts. You know what, I'm going to continue these on another video. This is going to take too long to run through them all. Desktop scrolling speed, take a guess. It's going to show you how fast you're flicking through your pages. Desktop bounce, so when you scroll and it hits the other pages, it's going to bounce back and forth. I don't like that, so I have it nearly 0. Do you want your wallpaper to scroll in the background? It can lag you down just a tiny little bit. It's not really worth turning off, I would say. Animated drawer, animate icons, desktop zoom, when the drawer is opening and closing, do you want the desktop to zoom in and out? And if so, how fast do you want it to zoom? Gestures, this is something that I got confused with when I actually first got ADW on here, because I had set swipe up to open up my notification bar, open close notifications. So every time I was over here trying to scroll something, for instance my bookmarks are right here, so when I tried to scroll up, this would come up. So if you're having that issue, that's why. Same with the swipe down, you get those options there. Show notifications, so if I had Gmail as a shortcut, it would allow for a little 1 if I had one email on the icon. Scrolling cache, if you have a, we're all on Honeycomb tablets, I'm assuming, if you're watching this, so you just want to set it to auto. system persistent, open transition. This is when you're opening other applications, how do you want them to open? So right now I have zoom, so the application would zoom from the center and take up the whole screen. You can do slide, where it's going to come from an edge. Then you can actually download themes. You can get themes, and I think it just does a search on the market. This is a pretty key feature. Backup and restore. Backup your settings. And there you go. ADW launcher. I'll show you. It does rotate. I'll show you the smooth. Let's see, we'll go back here. It's pretty smooth transitions on this. Show you the app drawer. This is not full screen. If it was full screen, it would be extended all the way out. This is the vertical 4D. That's why down here you can slightly see the applications floating over top and bottom. Everything else is going to be pretty much the same. If you don't like the way that you added widgets in Honeycomb, now you're back to regular. So you add widgets just like normal in this. You don't have that giant takeover of your entire screen and then you press one button and it slides to some other page. Add it, you adjust the columns at the start, or you can adjust the columns later. But as you can see by the YouTube widget, everything works. Works just like normal. So there you go, ADW Launcher EX for Honeycomb.